Alright guys, today I'm going to be installing Barnett performance clutch on my Yamaha Raider 2011. So I'm going to be upgrading a couple parts on here. This is the clutch spring conversion kit. So comes with more of the coil, it's like a coil spring type, so it loads more pressure on it. And then you got these extra springs, depending on how much pressure you want to put on there. So, pretty neat. This is all the information on there. It tells you the gray springs are 110 pounds, and the gold, or I'm sorry, the gray springs are 50 pounds, the gold are 58. So I'm probably going to put the 58s on there. Leave them on there because I have a couple performance parts in my bike already, and it's probably where my clutch is slipping. And then we got the Kevlar clutches from Barnett. Comes with all your steels and clutches. And here's the 2011 Yamaha Raider that we're going to be putting it on. I don't have a bike lift, so I did the best I could to support it all up. Just in case, I took some straps and strapped it to my farmer's walk. Get a little extra support. So, I've got the clutches and all that stuff all set out. Here's the clutches and steels. Got the Kevlar upgrade. Some instructions on it. Pretty basic too, like not very detailed. What oil do you use, all that stuff. So first step is I'm going to remove this kickstand, and then I'm going to take the linkage off the shifter. And I'm going to actually do a little mark on here with the dry erase just so I make sure I get it exactly back where it was. And then we're going to start pulling all these Allen heads off and take this whole cover off. So that's what I'm going to start on. And I got to drain the oil first. So oil's under here. There's actually 3 of them. I'm only going to pull one off. It's 17mm if I'm not mistaken. I don't know if you can see or not. And it is, there's 3 of them and they're way underneath here. Probably the only downside to the Raiders is the location of these old plugs. They can make it a little difficult sometimes. But pretty easy to break loose. I got my old pan under here. Go ahead and let it all drain out. It's warm because I ran it earlier. I did that on purpose because I want to make sure that I got everything nice and lubricated moving around. And then next up, like we had talked about, we're going to take this kickstand off. So I can break things loose by hand.
And then we'll get this other one. I'm gonna have to fold this in so I can get it. Okay. Now we got it broke loose. There's also a sensor in there we gotta take off. We'll take that off in just a second. Now that's broke loose, I'm just gonna take these out. Try to make things easy on you. I use impact wrench to get it out. Okay. That was a little harder than I thought it was on that one. This connector's not this. I don't think I'm gonna take that one out. I'm afraid of stripping it. So I'm probably just gonna let it hang. This is not gonna cause any harm to hang. And I definitely don't want to cause more problems. Alright, so we're gonna mark it. And I'm gonna go ahead and take it loose. And once it's off, I'm just going to go ahead and set it out of the way. It'll lay all the way back over. Alright, I'm going to start breaking some of these other ones loose. These Allens. Broke loose, then I'll use the impact just to take them all out the rest of the way. Morgan, hand me that silver bucket on the fridge. These are all the Allens that I'm taking loose. They all got a little Loctite on them. I'm just kind of setting my parts off to the side. Honestly, not sure that I even needed to take that off, but who knows? Probably not. This is why I'm making this video. This is really not a lot of. I didn't find a single one video of how any of this stuff is supposed to come apart, so that's why I'm doing it. The other cool thing is while I'm doing this is I can go ahead and polish everything up. One more and it should be free. All of them. Really try to be careful with it. Oh shit. I wasn't expecting that. There's some wires right here. That was something I wasn't totally expecting. Okay. We're in there. Now, our next step is going to be taking this assembly off. Of it. I just want to take pictures of it to make sure that I get it put back correct, honestly. Clutch disengaged. The other thing I'm aware of on this thing is you gotta break it loose a little bit at a time. So if you don't back it off a little bit at a time, you can actually bend the flex plate thing on here. Okay. So first thing I'm going to take off, and I'm also going to make a note and mark it. So I'm going to mark as much of everything as I can. Again, I'm trying to keep it easy as possible. And I feel like the more things that I mark, whoa, the better I'm gonna be. That was really hot. I'm gonna try to be as methodical about this as I can. Taking these steels out. And clutches, so obviously I'm gonna video myself just for backup so I can refer back to that if I need to. So we're gonna take this first one out. This is gonna be number one. I'm gonna face it down. I'm gonna keep them exactly as they come out. This is gonna be steel 2. Steel 1. Still, this is clutch 2. I've done a lot of transmissions before. Not a lot, like maybe 5 in automobiles, so that's why I was thinking maybe I could do this. So far it hasn't been too bad. It's actually been pretty simple. It actually doesn't look bad. I think it's just the amount of power that I'm pushing on here that's causing the clutches to kind of slip, so that's a good thing and a bad thing. It's a good thing that, you know, the clutches aren't that bad in here, and also a good thing too that I'm going ahead and choosing to change it before they get too rough. I had my other Raider for 14,000 miles, never had any clutch slippage. But this is a different power commander, and I've actually done the fuel tunes and stuff on it. So that's probably the cause. Okay, on this one, there's supposed to be some kind of pin or clip or something in here. So I need to look in here and see what I need to do to get this next one out. Okay, so I need to make note of where this is clipping in at, I think, just to be safe. Where this wire ring is clipping in. So, here goes my dry erase again. And this is my wire ring where it's going in. Dry erase just makes it so much easier, I think. You can wipe it right off. It's not that hard. Be careful not to bend this wire. Okay. Now that the wire's out, it should come out. Yep. Imagine that wire is not going to be very much fun putting back in. I'll be careful again because I'm starting to turn this thing. Try to keep things as positioned as possible the way it was. Alright, and I'm going to put these off to the side because these are different than the other clutches. So I want to be able to identify that. Oh man, I think he's a little worn out right here, this guy. Maybe he's the problem. And I'm ready to start putting stuff back in. Just wanted to kind of note something. I know I see a lot of people, like, when I was looking up how to do other Harleys, stuff like that, they oil these. They already come with oil on them, so just something to think about. You don't necessarily have to oil them, but if you want to, go for it. I didn't. Other thing is, I noticed when I was taking these last couple off, right here, that there's a ring, and the new kit doesn't come with that, so something to think about. So gotta put that ring back in there. So this guy's gonna go back first. I'm just inspecting him. Make sure he's all good to go. All the way back. This ring's gonna go in there. It all fits the way it should. And then we got a steel that's gonna go in. And then we gotta put that wire back in there, so I don't know, this might be easy or fun. We're fixing to find out, aren't we? Took me a little longer than I thought it would to clip this thing. Okay, now, something I noticed on my clutch before I took it off was this last one was a mark over. It's probably, they did that on purpose, so that's why I'm putting it back the way it all came off. These are supposed to be torqued at 5 foot-pounds. So, definitely use the torque wrench, guys. I'm not suggesting you do what I'm gonna do. you guys go ahead and use a torque wrench. And I've been doing mechanicing for a while, so I know what 5 foot-pounds feels like. If you don't risk it. Okay, so there you have it. It's installed. We're gonna look and see what it looks like when I engage and disengage the clutch. Looks like it's all working the way it should. So yeah, the rest is just basic. We're gonna put everything back together the way we took it off. And then add oil. Alright guys, so I got the Barnett clutch installed, and while I was starting to put things back together, I had a washer that was just like that, and I could not figure out where that sucker went. It was odd that it just landed, it was right there in the case. So I looked all the way around, I couldn't figure out where it went. I was able to pull a diagram up of the Yamaha Raider. It came off of all the way up here. So that sucker went all the way up there. So got that figured out. I'm fixing to button it up. Alright guys, so you saw my video on installing the Barnett clutch for my Yamaha Raider. You can see it went pretty smooth. I did run into a couple things that I didn't expect. The wire was a lot harder to clip back in than when I took it out. And all in all, it went pretty smooth. Been driving the bike several times now and it works great. The clutch is very firm, it grips well. I noticed a little bit of increased tension on the clutch handle, which I personally kind of like. But overall, great install, love the clutch. If you have any questions about, are you planning on doing this for your bike or not, I would say go for it. Very good investment, relatively cheap too. I think total I spent like $440 on everything. So if you have any comments, please put them down below, and like and subscribe so you can continue to get more and more content around cool videos like this. Thanks.